thought this was going to be easy. In my head, this review was already written before I even listened to the FT1 Pros from FiiO. The summary was something like, these are a nice entry-level headphone from a solid brand, but there are better options on the market. Are there though? For $200 US, the FT1 Pro is an affordable, open-back, planar magnetic headphone. They don't look like much. They don't really feel like much. They don't feel bad though. But I should also say that there's a certain understated class when you look at them closely. You can see the planar magnetic driver through these patterned rear grills when you look closely and under the right light. And it looks great. From further away though, they're pretty meh. The headband is fairly industrial but comfortable, just like on the FT1. And generally they're an understated headphone across the board. When it comes to sound, I'd describe them as not quite as impressive as the cheaper closed-back FT1s. But that doesn't make them bad. The FT1s are just ridiculously good. As I discussed in yesterday's FT1 video, the FT1 Pros are a more neutrally tuned headphone. They also don't have the sense of articulation and feel that the FT1 has. Instead, what the FT1 Pro does have is a more open and spacious sound and a more natural or neutral tuning from bottom to top. Being very easy to drive from portable or desktop devices, the FT1 Pro might just be a fantastic entry point for audiophiles getting into the hobby for the first time, or for experienced audiophiles that are working on a budget. That is, except for the fact that there are 3 other very well priced and very, very good headphones that compete directly with the FT1 Pro. So we should talk about those. The first headphone might be one that you've never heard of before. It's called the Anser, that's spelt without a W. I've explained that in its review, and it looks spectacularly better built when compared to the FT1 Pro. I mean, it is spectacularly better built than the FT1 Pro. So on build quality, these 2 headphones are in completely different leagues, despite costing near enough to the same amount, $199 for the Anser and $200 for the FiiO. If you like judging books by their covers, just go and buy the Anser. If you prefer to read books before you judge them, you might still go home with the FT1 Pro. The Anser has a coloured tuning. It's clearly a less natural sound and it's quite vocal forward, but it's nice. They deliver a wonderful sense of clarity and detail, and on a well-recorded female vocal like Crazy Love, they're brilliant. However, I do prefer the FT1 Pro overall. It has a better balance in its tuning and it makes it more genre versatile. The FT1 Pro will sound great with everything. The Anser swings between solid and great depending on the track and the genre, even the source chain sometimes. Beyond their build quality and their tuning, there's not a lot to technically separate the performance of the FT1 Pro and the Anser, so I'll leave it there for the Anser. Go and check out my full review of the Anser if you're interested and you want to know more. For now, I'm comfortable that I like the FT1 Pro just a little bit more, and so let's move on to another comparison. The Sennheiser HD560S was at an immediate disadvantage when compared to the FT1 Pro, and that's because it comes with only a 6.3mm cable. Using them out of the live HP2A headphone amp meant that both of them were getting an excellent signal, whether it was the 6.3mm connected Sennheisers or the FiiOs from the 4.4mm socket, but I know that many of you will have devices where the balanced output sounds better due to the design of the device. For the record, balanced outputs aren't inherently better, it's just that some companies take shortcuts in sending a signal to the single-ended outputs because their emphasis is on the balanced. And that makes the single-ended sound worse, but it's not because single-ended is worse. Anyway, starting off with the HD560S, listening to Going Down South was an out-of-the-head experience, as in a did I leave the speakers switched on experience. In addition to that spacious and lifelike soundstage, the sound was generally great. It was a touch brighter than I prefer, but still very enjoyable. When I then gave the FT1 Pros a turn, they were almost as out of the head as the HD560S. It's hard to know if that was just because I already knew what to expect, so it didn't take me by surprise. I think that's all that was going on. What wasn't in doubt for me though, was my overall preference between these 2 headphones. The tonal balance is clearly better from the FT1 Pros to my ears. Vocals were better balanced in the mix because the FT1 Pro doesn't have as much treble spice as the HD560S does. Despite having less treble though, there's no sense of any lost detail or clarity from the FT1 Pro. They balance all the frequencies better than the HD560S, and as I listened longer, there wasn't really any aspect of sound that I felt gave an edge to the Sennheisers. Across the board, the FT1 Pro was better in my opinion. And so, unless you specifically want a slightly brighter tuning, I think the FT1 Pros are the better buy. Its tuning is more balanced, it has more accessories, I find it more comfortable, and I'd say it's just a better choice. And on that note, if you prefer all those benefits, but you also would like a brighter tuning, there is a solution. You could always buy the FT1 Pro and then just swap the pads around to get the tuning you want by going over to Deconi Audio and choosing from all the different options they have available. As sponsor of this video, Deconi Audio are offering 10% off their pads, their modular cables, and all their other accessories for headphones and audio in general. Just go to deconiaudio.com and use the code PassionForSound10 at the checkout. And they also have pads for the final contender here that's trying to prevent a clean sweep for the FT1 Pro. The HiFiMan Edition XS costs about $70 more than the FT1 Pro, but it's earned a reputation as being incredible value for money. If that's the case, so is the FT1 Pro. I think the Edition XS is likely to impress more people on first listen, but longer listening sessions might have you changing your mind. The FT1 Pro is clean and natural sounding. It delivers great separation of sounds and clarity, but nothing is enhanced or unnatural. Not quite so much with the Edition XS. It is an excellent headphone, probably the best at its price, or at least it was. Neither headphone is particularly strong when it comes to soundstage, with the Edition XS pushing wider, but it's very, very flat. The FT1 Pro is a little bit more natural with the shape of the soundstage, but it's not incredible on overall soundstage size either. Having said that, there aren't really any headphones at this price point that I think are amazing with soundstage, so it more comes down to tuning and musical engagement in my opinion. Like the FT1 Pro, the Edition XS is a generally neutral and very clean and detailed sounding headphone, but it's a little bit less natural in the upper registers because of an increased sense or an enhanced sense of clarity. It's definitely fun and exciting, but it can easily get fatiguing for some listeners. That's probably due to the 8 kHz peak that's tuned into the Edition XS, and also offset by the fact that the FT1 Pro has a little bit of extra bass and a little bit of extra mid-range. As I said, some people are going to love the sense of excitement from the Edition XS, and so the FT1 Pro isn't a clear winner here by any stretch. However, I do prefer the more even-handed tonality, tuning and delivery of the FT1 Pro. I also prefer its looks, its comfort, and its accessories. And so, the FT1 Pro is another brilliant, affordable headphone from FiiO. First the FT1, and now the FT1 Pro. I wonder what they'll do next. If you want to go and grab the FT1 Pro for yourself, I've put links in the description down below, and also through to Deconi Audio if you want some pads, cables, carry cases, etc. Don't forget the discount code PassionForSound10. However, if you felt yourself leaning more towards what I described about the Edition XS, check out my video up here with an affordable and easy modification that you can make to the Edition XS to turn them into something that's very close to the much more expensive HiFiMan Aria Organic. For now though, a huge thanks to YouTube channel members, also to channel Patreon members, and to those of you who leave super thanks on videos like this one. And until next time, happy listening, be kind to each other, and I'll see you here again soon on Passion for Sound.